Welcome to Writing Along, number one resource for everything writing, authentic writer's development, everything that you've been hearing about Writing 101. That's what this past 10 days have really been about. Just the foundation. It's just some principles that can get you started. We're starting pretty strong here. If you haven't already check out writingalong.com, where we have this guide, how to write a book in 30 days. It's pretty definitive. It's not. I'm not just saying that. I mean, it's really gonna get you on your way if you're trying to write a book and you need a place to start. Start there and start here with all these videos and content. It's actually a podcast too. You can check out everything there. But enough of that. Let's get directly into this inspiration for writers. I struggled how to title this video. Inspiration for struggling writers. But I thought if you're here, you're not going to be struggling long, especially even just this video. If this video is all you watch in the Writing 101 series, if it's the only thing you listen to throughout all this content on the site, good for you. This in itself, this is going to help you a lot. So motivation is one thing. Inspiration is a completely different thing. And especially for writers, you can have all these factors that kind of keep you going. But inspiration is where your ideas come from. Motivation gets you in front of a paper. Inspiration gets that paper filled, right? You're not going to just be running off. Your engine isn't fueled by just sheer willpower. It's also fueled by creative inspiration. So there's so many places you can find and get inspiration as a writer. Let that be sweet sounding thing to your ears that even just this video can't contain all of it. So I'm just going to go on the pieces that come to my mind right now. And some of that is just the stuff around you, the very life that you find yourself in. The life you find yourself in is very different from another viewer of this video, right? So a big thing with inspiration is you fear like, oh, I don't want to sound like somebody else. You know, I don't want my ideas to resemble someone else's too much, or I'm trying to find an originality with it. That's what inspiration is. You don't just want to duplicate and copy someone else to the word for word. So in that sense, look around you. Look at the life you're in. Think of, turn these negatives into really just positives for you for writing. Think of the things that annoy you. And don't stop there. Think of what kind of emotions they trigger within you. Think of people that maybe you don't really like in your life, that are somehow in your life, and think of, or people you've known, it goes on, right? And what emotions did they trigger? Like, why did you react and respond in these ways, or why do you continue to do so? And by doing that, you're kind of just establishing this emotional dialogue between yourself and what you can write about. As long as you can instill emotion in a reader, you're doing a great job. And if you can instill emotion in yourself, you're going to be okay. You're really going to be okay. If you feel zero emotions at all in your life, like zero, I'm talking nothing, you should probably stop watching these videos and consult a psychiatrist. I'm not saying it purely as a joke. I mean legitimately. Even if you think you don't feel anything, you might be feeling a little something, right? Even if it's despondency, maybe it's just sadness or something, right? Now, David, why are you saying all these things, these negative things about if we're talking about inspiration? Well, a lot of the time, some of the deepest and most inspiring moments that you will return from are thoughts and ruminations like this. These kinds of experiences in your lives, these kinds of reactions you have, are often the greatest tools. They're the greatest reservoirs that you can take from and use. Emotion is key. Emotion is what matters. That's what makes it human. That's what makes it something that a computer didn't auto-generate, and just publish to the web or a bunch of books. You've got something in you that is kind of special, okay? To say the least, your very existence is defined by emotive reactions. Not emojis, emotive reactions, just like real responses. Take into considerations the ones that you have to your everyday events, to things that are local to you. not just local, like down the street. I mean, like things that that you know, that maybe you don't want to know, but you know, or what makes you happy, what brings you joy. It could be something very specific to you. A lot of times, people find happiness in things that other people just don't, especially around them. Maybe other people in the world do, but especially like around you, it's hard to find people who relate to certain things. Maybe certain things you wake up in the morning thinking about, or that really just kind of brings some kind of joy to you. Use those. Look at those and look at what they are. And when you're writing characters, when you're writing scenes, when you're beginning at an empty page, think about what triggers those, what creates those feelings in you, and put them onto the page. Transpose them into actions that happen. Maybe a character experiences the same thing, and what you essentially do through that is when you get a reader who's reading what you're saying, you're opening their eyes to something that is potentially new to them, both familiar and new. And something that we talk about a lot here on Riding Along is that between two extremes, there's always an in-between. And that is just the very nature of it. When you can kind of find one extreme and embrace that, and then the other extreme, maybe you're not too familiar with, but you know it exists. This in-between that is created is very powerful. It's almost explosive. It's like there's one ingredient already there, and there's one that you're bringing to the table. This is what you know so well. And once you bring that one in, and you have the other one waiting there for you, you acknowledge what it is, the opposite or whatever. It's like something just blows up, and that's your inspiration. That's what it is. It's this real physical process. And I don't know if I don't think a lot of channels or really any content sources are really talking about this at this level. So some of you out there you'll know what I'm talking about. You may not have heard this before, but you'll know because it's something familiar. Maybe you just couldn't have put words to it before. And I really think it's going to be revolutionary for you as a writer once you realize that inspiration it's essentially everywhere. It doesn't run out. There's not a limited amount of sources you can take it from. It's not like, oh, I only have this much for my entire life. I better not waste or use it all. And no, it's going to stick around. And more inspiration too, it comes from treating writing treating it really well. Don't just treat it like it's a joke. Your writing can be less serious, what you're writing about, the way you use your words and stuff like that. But the craft itself, when you treat it seriously and kind of acknowledge the power that it has, it will kind of give you things. And one of those things is something called, it's a very universal concept, all right? Not just new to our times. I'm talking way back. All right, the muse. Now, there's so many artistic portrayals of what the muse looks like and what it could be for other people. I've heard people fake, what it looks like for them, and it's just very discouraging because it's like, oh, is it real? Is it what the hell is the muse? Well, for me, it's something that is very real. All right, it's not filtered. Okay, the muse is something that kind of sits on my shoulder, like it legitimately sits there like a bird or something, and it like talks inside. And I hear words. I hear what to write, and it's not me. It's not David from Riding Along is so inspired. He has all these ideas. No, it's something that comes to me. It's something that can come to you too. I just know how to bring it to you. I don't know how to repeat the words that it's saying or generate them myself. I just know where it comes from. And you got to make an inviting place in your mind for that muse to visit you. And when it does, and again, you might have a different vision of what it looks like in your head. Use your imagination. It could be anything. It could be something that just descends from the sky. It could just be this invisible person that walks into the room that you're in and just kind of you have a conversation with. Or someone who you've known in your life who's passed on and you're able to still have conversations with them, and through them, inspiration comes to you. That kind of thing. These are all real things, and it's not stuff you're going to hear in generic writing class number 700, and people aren't talking about this stuff because it's a little out there, but it's also very grounded in reality. It's not a new idea. It's not something the world has never heard of before, but it's something that people are afraid to talk about. And if you're listening right now, you're hearing the real thing, okay? This muse can come and visit you too and bring you inspiration as well. It's not something that isn't for you. It's not something imaginary. It's not the fictions of a crazed person who can't articulate their own thoughts. I would hope through this video you're noticing a kind of consistency and openness in the way that I'm bringing these words to you. It's all to help you. It's all to bring you to a place where you can be the confident writer that you were supposed to be. And all these 10 days, this might be one of the more powerful videos. So if you watched it in order, you're ending strong. If you haven't, you can check back through the others. I would suggest watching through the ones you need to watch through. I'm going to be real. Watch them all if you want, but watch the ones that really stand out to you. Those titles. I don't make clickbaity thumbnails, okay, or super clickbait titles. I just want stuff that helps writers, that helps the future writers of this generation of when I'm publishing this kind of stuff, and the next, and the next, and the next, and onwards. That's all this is. And I want to thank you too for watching this video and for watching the series if you've watched it all or listened to it all. Again, like I said, this is also a podcast. And that's really the heart of today's content. I would bring more, but there's a ton more to come from this. This isn't the end of riding along. This is really just the beginning. And for all of you who are watching right now, if you got all you needed, feel free to tune out. You can close out now. For any of you who are thinking of being dedicated listeners and watchers to this, I'll have you know too, I'm starting this with 0 views, okay? I'm starting this with 0 subscribers. I've invested $0 in marketing or anything like that just because I want to make the best resource I can. I want to dedicate everything I can, every bit of myself to just bringing it all raw and unedited. These videos aren't edited. They're just recorded and produced live and shot up to the audience here, shot on YouTube and made available to the public. So I want to welcome you just formally, informally. Thanks for checking out Riding Along. If you do enjoy the content and want to see a lot more, hear a lot more from this, where this is coming from and stuff like that, hit subscribe and just stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more from where this is. We're just starting here, okay? And your daily reminder, write your book, okay? You can do it. It's not something you can't do. I believe in you, all right? If no one else believes in you, you can do it, all right? I definitely believe in you. Grab your copy for free. All right, I'll see you guys and see you on the next episodes.